When I moved to Roseburg, I thought I knew exactly what I was signing up for. A little bit of peace and quiet, small town. But what actually happened not only changed my mind, but actually changed the way I viewed this whole area. Hey everybody, I'm Jerry Norman with Oregon Life Homes. I've been selling real estate here for the last 5 years, and I absolutely love it. This story is basically to answer a lot of questions that people ask me all the time. Why did I move to Roseburg? Well, I am not originally from here. I grew up in Tacoma, worked in the casinos up there in Washington State for about 10 years, and then I moved back east, started working in casinos out there. I grew up in Tacoma, moved to Ohio, lived in a small farm town, which was a big change. Worked in casinos in West Virginia, so I was in a small northeastern Ohio town, working in a northern West Virginia casino, and I worked there for about 10 years. But once my daughter graduated high school and went off to college, I had to get back to the West Coast. Well, I had traveled a lot when I lived in Tacoma, between Tacoma and the southern Oregon coast. That's where my family ended up moving. And so I traveled through Roseburg quite a bit. Maybe stopped here for lunch a couple times, but really didn't know the area that well. Did know that it was kind of a neat area, and I really liked it. I loved the rivers. Thought it would be a neat place to live. What really brought me here was when I decided I was going to move back to the West Coast, I was looking for a casino opportunity where it would be pretty much a lateral move. So I applied for a couple places, and the casino here in Douglas County, they took my application and I flew out, interviewed, and so basically was hired and really needed to find a place to live in the next 30 days. So now what am I going to do? So I had a month to find a place to live. Well, that first week, that weekend that I was here for the interview, I secured a rental home. It was a nice place, but really I never even went inside it. That's how hard the rental market is here. So secured the rental. It was going to be available pretty much the time that I needed to start the job here. So flew back home, started packing up. And one thing that if you are relocating, one thing to know, and I've done it twice now. I've moved across the country to Ohio, came back here, and one thing to really make it easy is get rid of everything. Maybe just move over here with a truck or whatever, but come with nothing. That would be the easiest way. It's one thing to move across town, but when you're moving across the country, it is so much easier to get rid of all your stuff. So once I made it here, started my new job, I knew nothing about this area. So time to start exploring. Well, what am I going to do? Well, there are some really cool wineries here. Visited a couple wineries, a couple breweries, because there are breweries back on the East Coast. There's hardly any. Same thing with wineries, not a lot. So I was really excited to get back to the West Coast for that. And then also the mentality and the way people are compared to the East Coast to the West Coast, so much more comforting. People are much more welcoming here. And I was really excited for that. And being here in Roseburg is even better. Everybody is so nice. I met my neighbors right away, and we became lifelong friends now. So just people here are so much nicer. So I worked in the casinos for about 5 years, and then I decided it was time for a change. So I had invested in real estate in the past, and I still do. And also, Dad was a general contractor and built homes, and my mom was a real estate agent. So it really felt like the right spot to do. It was just jump into the real estate career. And I wouldn't change that for the world now. So working in the casino, and when I decided to make the change, was moving an option. When I first moved here and I thought, well, I'm going to be in the casinos, it was always in the back of my mind that I might go back up to Washington, but once I landed here and planted roots, I'm here to stay. Now plans might change. I might move away someday, but I don't see that in the future anytime soon. So started selling real estate, and now I really learned this area really well. And when I first got here, I explored every opportunity I could. Went up, taking drives up to Crater Lakes, doing hikes out to Tokenie Falls, weekend trips out to the coast, just tons of stuff to do. Then I bought a motorcycle, and which I had in Ohio, but the riding season here is so much more better. The weather is much better, much more calm. So exploring all of the county, all of the state on the motorcycle is one of my biggest hobbies. And then just on the weekends, just exploring around town. Every town around here has got either a festival or a little event. There's just always something to do here. Now, you're not going to go out to the bars, go out dancing or clubbing or stuff like that. That's not really going to happen. And even during the week, there's always something to do. There's some sort of a little small local event. The town I live in here, Myrtle Creek, there's so much cool stuff here. Music in the parks in the summertime, and all the other towns have got music in the park as well. Also, there's a keg and cork walk that happens here in town every year. That is so cool. And then the Christmas parades. Each town has got a small little Christmas parade, which is really cool. Each town in the summertime has got a little summer festival. Always something cool to do. And the people are always so nice. So I was so surprised each year living here, all the things that you can do in the community. It's so easy. People are so nice and welcoming. And I never had a problem with, oh, you're an outsider or whatever. Although, check out some of the comments on my videos. Some people are telling me I don't know anything because I'm not from here. Well, that's why I'm doing this video. Because if you are thinking about moving here for, downsizing, relocation, retirement, or coming here for work like I did, this video is probably going to be for you because I am not from here and I really know what it's like to make that transition. One of the biggest surprises, and it's not great, was the wildfires. Wildfire smoke the first year I was here was really bad. And then the years past haven't been as bad. We might get one or two bad days, but that's all right. But one thing that I don't miss is my snowblower and snow shovel. I don't need that anymore. Although there was one winter where I probably could have used it, but pretty much if I still had it, it would just be sitting in my garage and gathering dust. So if you're moving here from a cold place or back east or up north, gotta get rid of that snow shovel. You don't need it here. So would I do it again? Yes, I would do it again, but what would I change? Well, if I had more time, I would have looked into buying a house first. I rented for a couple years and then I bought a house, and I bought two since I've been here. So would I do it again? Yeah, at the time when I moved here, buying a house probably would have been a great investment. In fact, I know it would have been, but that didn't happen. I just didn't have the time and I should have started as soon as I got here, but I didn't. That was my mistake. So would I change moving here again? Absolutely not. I love living here. It is a great place to grow a family, meet people, meet friends. It is just a welcoming town. It's not like a really small town where really everybody knows everybody, but it's small enough town to where you can kind of blend in, but people are still going to know you. One thing that was, that I was kind of ready for, seems like everybody that lives here has grown up here. So they are really ingrained in this town, which kind of worried me at first because I thought, oh, I'm going to be an outsider and people aren't going to like me. Not the case. Brought me right in. I felt right at home. So yes, I did have a few challenges, and making the move across the country is not fun. But if you get rid of most of your stuff, make that move a lot easier. That's my biggest advice. Get rid of most of your stuff. But moving here does have its challenges. And if you are thinking about making a move here, give me a call, text, email. All my contact info is in the description below. I'd love to help you. I've been living here for the last 10 years. I absolutely love it. I know every neighborhood and really can get you fit in with what neighborhood and what area would be perfect for you and your family. So if you are thinking about making a move, give me a call. Also, hit that subscribe button because I'm putting out videos like this every week about what it's like to live, eat, breathe, sleep, and work and play here in the Roseburg area. So with that, you guys have a great day. I'll talk to you guys later.